Before this video starts, I just want to say that this video may contain spoilers for Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. If you don't want any spoilers, you may click off this video now. Also, this video is going to be in two parts because this mod is way bigger than the JoJo's one I reviewed a little bit ago. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that I don't go homeless in the near future. And without further ado, let's get into the video. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now today, after 5 whole months, we are back and this is the second episode. So today we are going to be checking out a Dragon Ball mod, and because you guys enjoyed JoJo so much, I decided why not continue with the anime stuff. Now, first of all, this episode I put a lot more effort into it than the other one, so hopefully it's going to be better. This mod looks into a bunch of different things, so hopefully I can go through all of them. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be reviewing these attacks: the Galax gun, the Kamehameha, the Ki Blast, the Destructo Disc, a Ki Beam, a Double Sundae, Dirty Fireworks, Masenko, and Energy Wave. Now, to do this is kind of like a mana system, but instead of mana, and instead of waiting to recharge mana, for Ki, you recharge it by yourself, and you can see this little bar here going up as I'm holding the thing. Oh yeah, and also our movement is incredibly slow during this process, so later on we'll get things to speed up the Ki charge, but for now this is the fastest we can go, and also we are capped at 1000. Also, everyone's been asking me, how do you get these mod menus up, or how do you spawn in your stuff? How do you check recipes and check this and check that? These are different mods. So I'm using boss checklist to check my bosses, which kind of looks like that. I am using other features. These are pretty much all three of the same. I'm using Heroes mod to spawn stuff in, check stuff, everything. The recipe browser to look up different recipes, very useful. And then what mod is this from? That is also very useful because I'm able to select like what's from where. As you can see at the bottom, it says Dragon Ball Terraria. So one of the first things that I would probably say we'd get based on damage is probably Dirty Fireworks and an Energy Beam. An Energy Beam seems like the most basic thing you can get. And if I go over here and I spawn a slime, a couple slimes actually, we'll be able to check that. So first of all, a Dirty Fireworks. This thing does that. So it does like almost no damage at the very beginning, shoots them up and then explodes them, and while it is active it is really hard to do anything else, but it does a lot of damage, so it's pretty good. Next up is Energy Wave. Now I'm assuming this is one of those ones where you have to charge, and once you got a good little bit of it, you just release it and it shoots out a beam like that, and it does very good damage, to be completely honest. So yeah, that's the first two. Next up is a Ki Beam. Now this is a little different from the Energy Wave. It shoots out little shots that travel through blocks and do decent damage. This is kind of better because it's faster. But yeah, now I'm actually just going to put these dummies just so we can see how good they are. They are pretty good, I'm not going to lie. And if I get out a cell phone, because yes, it will display all the information, and you can tell you can tell that I need to charge my Ki first of all, and it does pretty good damage. It's about 100 DPS, which is very good for early hard mode. Next up is probably a Ki Blast. Now this is another material that adds up into something else. This is pretty much just a slightly stronger version of the Ki Beam. Now I do need to go through this a little quicker because there's so many of them. So we are going to speed up the process a little bit. So this is a Masenko. Very strong, although it sucked away all of my Ki. This is a Double Sundae. Very cool. I think it's better from distance, to be honest. Yeah, better from distance. Next up is our Destructo Disc. Everyone loves the Destructo Disc. Who doesn't? It seems very useful. It's very quick and pretty high DPS, I would say. Next up is the Kamehameha, a very iconic move. And obviously you got the charging sound. It goes up to a level 4. You can actually run with it, which is pretty cool. And then you just release it, and it does a lot of damage. 744 DPS, very nice. And of course we have Vegeta's Galax gun, which I need to charge first. And then you have obviously Vegeta's Galax gun. Incredibly powerful. I say that is also really cool. I'm actually going to keep that with me. We'll see what we can do with that, so I'll favorite that for now. Next up is the stuff that I would probably assume to be hard mode / late hard mode. Not Moonlord, but very close to it. So we have this one, which kind of works like a yo-yo, to be honest. Is the Spirit Ball. It is the one that Yamcha uses. To be honest, it's pretty good. I expected a little weaker, but not horrible. I think this is, yeah, it's Yamcha's, and I think it's actually supposed to be still pre-hard mode, but very strong ability. Next up is the Energy Blast Barrage, which I'm assuming, yeah, it's pretty damn good, to be honest. The only issue with it is it soaks up ki really fast. Next up is the Halzone Grenade, which is a Piccolo move. Now, I'm a big fan of Piccolo, so we'll see what this actually does. So we've set up our Halzone Grenades, and they kind of just split off. I believe it's because there's no target for them to actually cling onto, but we'll test that with a boss eventually, so just bear with that for a sec. Next up is Blood Thief. Now, it's a life-stealing blast, so I don't think it's canonical, but it does look pretty cool. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, definitely good move. I just think that, you know, doesn't exactly have anything too interesting about it. Next up, another Piccolo move. Big fan. The Makan Kosapo. I'm assuming I said that right. It is a head beam. A very fine beam that does a lot of damage. That is 1,762 DPS. That's one of the strongest ones we've had so far. I think this is actually a little later. However, you know, I think we did that a little too early, to be completely honest. Next up is the Big Bang Attack. Now this is a... that is pretty cool. I'm assuming it's yeah, it's kind of like I know who it's supposed to be a Vegeta move. I believe it's supposed to be a Vegeta move. However, it kind of functions like a Spirit Bomb. Kind of functions like a Spirit Bomb, if you ask me. It does consume 100 ki, so it's very, very expensive, but it has a big AoE, so definitely good move there. We have a Super Energy Barrage. I think this is getting into decently late hard mode. It shoots out energies, like little energy balls. It takes up a lot of ki. So yeah, can't really use that just yet. This one's an energy shot. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's very good. It's the enhanced version of a regular ki blast. So pretty much we're taking the ki blast, which we used at the very beginning, and we're just shooting it a lot faster, and it does more damage. It is pretty cool in my opinion, and I think that would be a very powerful weapon. Next up is the Super Kamehameha. Now I think the Super Kamehameha is actually pretty cool. It is just an enhanced form of the Kamehameha, and I'm assuming this is gonna hit a couple thousand DPS. Oh no, it wasn't what I expected, to be completely honest. Maximum charge is 8, so I think I didn't charge it fully, but we'll see when I get more ki then, I guess. Next up is Scatter Shot. It's a tracing attack. I think it's pretty cool, to be completely honest, but it is pretty slow. So we'll retry that as we get more ki. A lot of these we'll have to retry after we get more ki, but that's the fun of it, I suppose. This is the Spirit Bomb, also known as the Genki Dama, which is a much cooler name. That was really cool, to be honest. I don't know where it went, but we'll keep that. We'll keep that, definitely. I think we can make that a lot bigger. But the issue is I still only have 1,000 ki, and it takes forever for me to charge, so I don't even get to 1,000. Next up is a Trap Shooter. Now, I don't actually know where this is from. I don't know. The aim on that one was a little weird, and yeah, probably not gonna try that again. Next up is the Final Flash, another Vegeta move. Should be incredibly powerful, to be honest. It should be rivaling the Super Kamehameha. Yeah, I'd say it rivals it pretty goddamn well. The only issue, actually, it does charge further than the Super Kamehameha, and it also has greater damage, so it's better than the Super Kamehameha. Now for these next ones, they take up so much energy that we actually won't be able to do them without getting some upgrades first. So I'll put them back into the box, and then we'll review them once we have gotten our upgrades. And then these ones I'm going to put in another box to come back to them, because it's not fair to judge them off of just base stats. Okay, so next up we have armor. Now actually, one of the cool things that they added here was caps and blindfolds and glasses and whatnot. Now these visors and whatever kind of things, they were made specifically for ki, and so they make a normal piece of armor, like let's say the hollowed armor here, they make that into an actual Dragon Ball item. Now I'm gonna take off the turtle gi, and it looks like that. It actually looks pretty cool. I already have 500 more ki, and I get more ki damage, I get more everything, so this actually like boosts my stuff a lot. Now if I was to put on the Chlorophyte, which is the best stuff you can get from normal, with all the stuff, there you go, I get 1,500, and obviously you get the cool stuff. Now this is what I actually wanted to check out, these fragments and these scrolls. So first of all, you will have your ki fragments, and these things increase your max ki. So what you want to do is eat them, and they will give you way more ki. Now the master ki fragment, I'm assuming, is after Moonlord. And then you have the ki scrolls, which increases your charge rate. So now I'm at 10,500 ki, and I also charge it incredibly fast. So now instead of charging about 20 per second, I charge about a couple hundred per second. Now this is without any accessories, because we do actually have accessories. Another cool thing they did was they implemented their own specific armors and their own specific juices. Why did I say juices? Own specific potions and whatnot. So to recharge ki the fastest, you can drink potions, and as you can see, it instantly does it. Or you can take a stimulant. This enhances ki by quite a bit. I'm not sure what it means by enhancing ki, but we'll check that in a little. This also gives you potion sickness. You know, you can't drink another one, pretty much is what that means. Now, so we have our specific armors. For example, we have the fusion armor, which is supposed to be Goku Black's, or well, actually this is supposed to be Zamasu's, the fusion Zamasu. And so it does a lot of increases in damage. So for example, it says all damage is slowly increased while a boss is alive, limits at 300%. Now this is actually kind of late into the game, because this is the stuff that actually we're going to be looking at first. The Saiyan battle stuff. This stuff is obviously a little earlier, but it is Vegeta's outfit, and it is actually pretty decent for being early game. It provides decent defense, and it gives you decent ki buffs. Then we have the Elite, which is obviously a lot better. This is like Dragon Ball Super Vegeta. So this is the black outfit. I actually really like this compared to the original, but yeah, this is also a lot lighter. I would say this is actually after the Fusion Zamasu outfit. And before that, you also have the Saiyan Scout, which is before because it is like low tier Saiyans who just go out on patrol. You also have Demon Leggings, which I don't actually know whose. I think it might be Piccolo's, but because they didn't add an Namekian race, they only had the Saiyan race. It doesn't actually make too much of sense unless you're going for a Gohan looking character. They also made Canadian, which I don't exactly know who this is for, so if you do know, let me know in the comments, but I'm not too sure. It does give a set bonus. Pressing armor bonus grants you a demonic overdrive, granting infinite ki for a limited time. That is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. And then obviously you have the Radiant, which I think is the best. You also have the Turtle Hermit, which obvious Goku outfit. And you have the Radiant, which looks really cool, to be honest. It also gives me a speed boost. I have different speed boosts, but I don't know how these work, so yeah. Now that we are equipped with the Radiant armor and we have great ki, we also have different stimulants and whatnot, we can look at this stuff. Now obviously they wanted to implement stuff that wasn't fully ki based, so they added 3 weapons. A ranged shotgun, which actually I need bullets for because I didn't take any bullets out. Let's say we take some Luminite bullets. This is a farmer's shotgun, very powerful. A weapon forged by the gods. It is pretty damn good, to be honest. I'm assuming it's a pretty hard mode weapon. Now obviously it's a little weird because I am using Luminite bullets, which give 20 more damage, but hey ho, I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, grey weapon. Then you have Yajirobe's katana, very fast and it's pretty decently big. And then you have Trunks' sword. I like that sound effect, to be honest. It can get a little annoying, I think, but it's not too horrible, to be honest. Has some armor penetration. That is pretty good. I won't lie, that is pretty good. Now this is the stuff that is actually pretty cool, because this is the stuff that allows you to learn the ability of flight. Once you take the first book, it has the ancient technique inscribed in it. Holding it makes you feel lighter, so when you consume it, you get the ability of flight. Now I actually forgot what I set it on, so let me check that real quick. Okay, so once you press your toggled key, which is, for me, it's the up arrow, you are given flight. Now this is actually really cool looking. As you can tell, it took a little bit of my key, and then you can upgrade it. You now take no fall damage for 10 seconds after flying. Bukijutsu Guide Volume 3. Fogam Areperen. I think that's what Areperen. I don't know, okay? But it is the final part, and it barely takes any key now. Now I actually don't know how it was before it, because I have something that gives me like super key regeneration. Also gives me extra maximum life. So if I take crystal hearts, and I also take life fruits, and I max myself out, which sounds like this. If I do that, I will finally have 700 HP, which is very cool, to be honest. Also, if hitting enemies heals a random amount of ki and fires off homing projectiles at nearby enemies, which I think is pretty dandy. Next up is accessories. Now there's a lot of accessories, so I'm only going through like the important ones / anything that can be upgraded. Now there is this, but I don't know how you can get this other than giving it in. So I think this is actually a hack. So if you look at it, I get hit 150,000 ki, which I feel like it isn't exactly something you can actually get into the real game. I think it's just a god accessory. So we have quite a lot of stuff to go through. Going from the Boldarium Sigmite. This gives me 10 extra defense, and charging grants me a barrier that grants a massive increased defense. So if I charge, I actually get 33 extra defense, which is really cool. As you can see, there's a little fragment thing around me. That seems very useful, to be honest. Alright, so next up is the Radiant Totem. It's just another key accessory. You equip it, you get extra key. You know the drill. It's pretty cool. It increases key regen, that's it, really. Next we have this. It's a senzu bean bag. Now I think senzu beans are very cool because in this game, if I can find where I put them, yes, right here. Senzu beans give you 9,001 extra life and 9,001 extra mana. It is also material, which actually makes the senzu bean bag, and it's made with leather, senzu beans, soul supply, soul supply. So it's early hard mode, I would say. And senzu beans are incredibly useful. Now I need technically 2 senzu beans to restore my ki fully. However, I get more than enough life back from eating one of these. Now with this senzu bean bag, I actually get it way quicker. Now we get the spiritual emblem from the wall of flesh, which I think is really cool that they did that. I'm not going to go too much into it, just key damage increase. We have 1 gloves. This makes it so I can cast the stuff a little faster. It looks decent. I think this is a Vegeta thing. We have the spirit charm. This is a final thing from an upgrade tree, and it looks pretty cool. It gives me a bunch of different stuff, and I think it's one of the better things you can actually get. Next up we have the Earthen Arcanium. This gives me increased flight speed and a lot of ki, I think is what it does. The longer you charge, the more ki you charge. So pretty much it's a really good ki upgrade that also increases flight. I think if I was going to play, this would definitely be one of my favorite things to use, because who doesn't love flying around at the speed of sound? This is way faster than any wing flying, and also doesn't eat up an accessory slot. Also, you are naturally pretty damn fast, but you don't need to be running a lot because you can literally just fly for like no ki cost. Next up, the Black Diamond Shell. It's a shell that gets the attention of many creatures. For some reason, it's unbelievably tough. So this is just ki knockback, ki damage, and getting hit restores a small amount of ki. Yeah, you can actually see on my back. I don't know where it's from, but it does look pretty cool. Next we have the Bloodstained Bandana. Now this is from Bardock, if you've watched the movies. Very cool character, very cool item. It doesn't actually do too much, but it does increase ki damage and gives you thorn effect. Next up is the Ancient Legend Necklace. Now this reduces the amount of max ki I have. So I no longer have 500 extra ki. However, I also have 12% reduced ki usage, which is very cool and very useful because we also do more damage with it. So it's a pretty good one. Now this one is really cool. It's every time I charge, I get an aura around me which deals frostburn, which I think is really cool, because if you combine it with the I still cannot say this, Boldarium Sigmite, you get health, you get defense boost, and you get damage around you. I think that's a really cool item. Now we have the Ancient Legend Waist Cape, which I think these two are meant to be pretty much the exact same thing, but a little different. So this one's take less max ki, and also does a little less damage. So it's like pick and choose really. This is Broly's. Oh, they're both Broly's actually. I just realized. This is both like Z-Broly stuff. So yeah, very cool actually. We'll get into transformations later, so it's actually pretty cool that that's there. Now we have this very useful, I guess. It gives you 2,500 extra max key, but I don't think I need it because I have quite a lot of max key. Next is a battle kit. This stuff is, it gives you the hunter effect, which means I can see stuff through the walls. It also gives me extra key stuff, which is like every other key accessory really. Next is a Zenkai Charm. This thing gives us increased key damage, which is pretty cool, but also it has an ability where if you take fatal damage, it will instantly return you to 50 HP and grant 2 times damage for a short while. In other words, if you get killed with this thing, it will every 2 minutes it will revive you and also give you 2 times damage, which is pretty cool. Although I don't exactly see the full use in it, but hey ho. Next is the time ring. It's a health and key regen thing, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have the burning energy amulet, which is actually crafted into the pure energy circlet, which also uses the energy talisman. So let me just grab that actually. That might be a little easier. Alright, now that we've got that one, we don't actually need the burning energy amulet. This full one, this is the fully complete one. It gives us the effect of the ice energy talisman and also that of the firing thingamajiggy. So lots of key regen, health regen, everything, as well as this charging ability. Now we actually get a green aura around us, which I think is really cool because it's Broly, and I love Broly. Who doesn't love Broly? I think I'm going to slap on the Zenkai Charm and then we're pretty much set for endgame stuff. Now, I don't think I'll ever be needing these. Although, what I will say is that Bardock one looks really cool. Endless Key, I think this is, like I said earlier, I think this is a cheat item. So I'm not going to be using it, but it's pretty cool.